Miguel, host of Life Full Circle Radio. Special show tonight. We're doing our post debate recap because it was wild. That was interesting. All the cat eating and dog eating and Abdul, the head of the Taliban, Abdul. You know, it's so funny. I was just like, who is Abdul? Until they came back. And then the whole thing about him even saying something about her putting out. I said, he said so much crazy, so I even forgot some of this stuff. All right, let's go. Nope.
What's up? I know you guys are surprised to see us. You saw us on Monday, but the presidential debate was last night, and it was, as in my mother's words, it was riveting. You know, Blanche doesn't always use verbiage like that. So
was it riveting?
It was riveting.
It was interesting. I ain't gonna lie. I sat there and I said, you know, I was telling everybody in the house, y'all chill out. Y'all go find something else to do. The girls want to go watch Prince of Egypt. I said, y'all can go watch Prince of Egypt. I'm watching the debate.
Prince of Egypt from the 90s?
Baby, when my big baby come home, you know, the kids, they want to run around behind big sis. And so, you know, that's her nostalgic moment is all the stuff from the 90s. So they want her and my nephew. They want the kids to watch Prince of Egypt. Anyway, all right, debate follow up, and you know, if you got up on the screen, drop some comments in there, Kia, because it's crazy. I'm also streaming for folks who are on Fanbase. I'm testing this out on the audio side. You can catch us on Fanbase. You can catch me on Fanbase, Miguel INC on Fanbase. Let me put that in the little chat so folks can know about that. But while I'm doing that, what was your assessment? What was your moment? What was your hilarious moment, or what was your aha moment last night from the debate?
So I'm a avid debate watcher. I enjoy it very much. Like, people like basketball. I like watching these debates and everything. And it was downhill from the very beginning. And I mean the very beginning. So my aha moment was her trying to shake his hand. We all know when it comes to debates, the candidates, Biden and Trump did not do it in the last debate. And guys, I'm sorry that I'm blurry. Something's going on with the camera. Yeah. Biden and Trump didn't do it in the last debate, but in almost all debates, the candidates meet in the middle, they shake hands, let's have a good debate, or hi, or, you know, in the case of Sarah Palin, she was like, hey, can I call you Joe? It was just these cute little moments that they have
in that stuff about Sarah Palin. You better than me.
I love this type of stuff. But he didn't want to shake her hand. He went right behind the podium, and of course she was like, what you're not gonna do, you gonna shake my hand, sir. You're going to shake my hand, and you're going to hear me pronounce my name properly. And when he was kind of like ho-humming about that, I was like, oh, here we go. Here we go with the garbage.
Yeah, you know, that to me was strategic. From the very top, we're talking about the handshake. If you notice, as they said, they had never been in the same room before. They had never actually met. So this was their first time actually meeting each other there at the debate. Secondly, she made sure she introduced herself to him. And my name is Kamala. Hi, Kamala Harris. How are you? And so everything about a bully, which Donald Trump is, he's a bully. We know that. You have to get in a bully's face. Bullies don't like you to get in their face at any point. And so the first thing she did was said, no, you're not just going to walk up. You're going to feel me. You're going to look me in my eye. And you're going to know that I'm here. And she immediately did that at the top. And from there, like you said, it was downhill for Donald Trump from there. It was downhill from there, because one thing about him, you can tell he's a punk because he don't even like to look people in their faces. He, you know, with his opponents, he does not like to look you in your face. He does that, and that's a sign of respect, as we all know. You look someone in the eye, you're taught that as a young person. You look people in the eye, you shake their hand, and you engage. And so that's what the start. And I said, yeah, this is going to be good. I think she started off. You can tell the nerves were there, but let's just say she said this is the biggest stage in the world. There is no event that's going to garner more eyeballs. And from a political standpoint than that debate was last night. They said it was some 67 million people in this day and age were watching this debate.
And yes, it was very important debate. And let's just dive into, after the whole shaking incident, of course, the first question that David Muir asked, and by the way, I always forget how painfully handsome David Muir is. He is so attractive.
He is a Ken doll. He is a Ken doll.
He's a Ken. Thank you, Miguel. He's a Ken doll.
He is a Ken doll. Yeah. Yeah.
And no offense to Lindsay. Lindsay also was gorgeous. So you two gorgeous people were asking these questions. I was
they
like,
said she's an AKA as well. Did you know that?
And also her shoulder pads were too much. It was ridiculous. You honestly, what were you, going to war in the 1980s? Stop it. So they started off, the first question that David Muir asked focuses on the economy and how Kamala plans on, what part of her policy plans on improving the economy. She answers the question. I feel like her answer is garbage. I feel like it's going to increase.
Her answer is garbage about what? I missed that.
That she is going to give $50,000 tax credit to new business owners. And there was one other thing that I missed, but the $50,000 tax credit to new business owners, and
it's $50,000 for new business owners, $6,000 for new homeowners.
New homeowners, and something about families, but maybe she did not say that part.
No,
but it was a policy.
$6,000. I'm sorry, you're right. $6,000 child credit, and I want to say it's a $25,000 down payment for a home. And then $50,000 for small businesses. Yep. And so what don't you like about any of that?
It's just not realistic. And again, I'm conservative and I'm fiscally conservative. I just don't think, if we're talking about increasing the deficit, that's going to increase the deficit. I don't see it being something that can actually happen. But we're not here to talk about my opinion.
No,
whether I like it or not.
We are.
But wait.
Let's hash that out. Let's hash that out, because here's the thing. You have corporations that are buying up so much inventory right now as far as homes, right? And so what you don't have when you have a bunch of corporations that are buying up all these homes and they're putting them in these tax shelters in these corporations, they're probably not paying the taxes that someone who actually, like you and I, who would own that home, right, would pay in taxes. And so,
I agree with you.
Right, and so there's that part. There's that part about all of these big corporations buying up all these homes, which is garbage. We got a whole housing complex that we thought was going to be a bunch of
then let's not forget about the Airbnb crisis.
And then the Airbnb situation. So then you have, at one point, the child tax credit was something like $3,600 per child or something like that. And I think that was taken away. And so the proposition would be to bring that back, right?
Yes.
The $50,000 tax credit for businesses, once again, you get businesses, people into that work sector, and they're generating taxes. We'll see. We know the conservatives are going to find something wrong with that, even if it's a good idea, right? Republicans will find something wrong with that and try to make that idea their own, would be the plan. But, okay, all right.
So regardless of how me or anybody feels about it, it was a policy. It was a plan. She answered the question very directly, very succinctly, which is what the requirement was for this kind of debate. Again, I'm so sorry I'm blurry, guys. I'm just glad you guys can hear me. Then they said, President Trump, what is your plan to improve the economy? Why this man drifted? One, he went into tariffs, which he's been saying. If I feel like he just learned the word tariffs the other day. And that's why he keeps saying it over and over again, because I've never heard him mention tariffs before. He just started mentioning it within the last 2 months of his rallies. And he starts going into his regular rhetoric of immigrants are bad. They're taking your jobs. He almost said black jobs, but he thought it'd be way more classy to say African-American jobs.
I can't do that again. He had to stop himself.
But he said African-American jobs still.
He said African-American. He did say African-American job. And so this is one of my, when he talked about his plan, he said when they kind of pushed him, when they kind of pushed him on that, they said plans, and he says, I have concepts of plans. And I just
that wasn't for that. That was for his plan of helping improving healthcare. But like the next, big thing for her. Mm-hmm. They start going into women's health and women's right to reproductive rights, which is a huge hot button issue, and everybody wants to know what his opinion is about it. And he really didn't have an opinion about it. But Harris went in on the emotional aspect, which is it's gonna work. When you say that you have women who are bleeding out in parking lots. You have women who are having to go on the news to get health care to complain, saying, hey, I have a child that is not alive inside of me, a child that I wanted, that I want to have another kid. And if I can't have another kid if this child stays inside of me, not alive. And that really did play to the heartstrings of Americans. And then he went into, it's not funny. It
probably is.
They're killing babies at 9 months. The women are getting pregnant at the 9-month mark, and they're killing the babies. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not what's happening. What he's trying to imply, and it is a rule in 2 states, where there is no limit on when you can get an abortion. There's no limit on it. Like, it's not in the actual law where there's a limit on it. That is not saying that a doctor is going to allow you to get to 9 months pregnant and go, oh, you know what? We're just going to kill it, because you probably didn't want it anyway. You made it all the way this far and then was like, you're just going to kill it. What?
Right.
That doesn't make any sense.
And the fact that they continue to repeat this nonsense over and over and over again. I'm just pulling up your tweet from last night. Over and over and over again. You were going.
I have thumb blisters. I have thumb blisters. My husband was like, "Are you okay?"
you make sure you follow Kia Shakur on the X, her and her lovely family there. And so, I look at this nonsense, and you could see when he just lost it, the moments that he just lost it. And it was the moments, it's a couple times where, they do the little cut in the mic. And I was getting so annoyed because they always let him answer a question, she respond, and they're supposed to move on. And he would always, I have to respond to that. And he definitely ran over the 2 minutes every time. And even when he's responding, he's not. So the point was, she when she sat back that one time and she grabbed her chin and looked at him, she's like, I think you put it on your Twitter.
Yeah, that's the new meme for, if I send you this, it means I know you're full of it and you're lying to me right now. Like, if I know Omar lying, I'm just gonna send him that face, this face, this.
I watched him do this stuff. And I watched her sit back. I watched her sit back and say, I'm gonna let you dig this hole. I'm gonna let you continue to dig this hole because you are so easy. It's just like, it's like a cat following a light. Like, run over there.
Well, let's talk about the easy traps she left for him. And me, as someone who's I love politics. Politics is like a drug to me. I love it. And as soon as she said, let's talk about this, I challenge you as the American citizens to go to a Donald Trump rally. I was like, oh no, he's gonna fall for this hook, line, and sinker. And sure enough, he fell for that. That was an easy, don't fall for that. He could have easily said, why are you talking about rallies? We're talking to the American people. Instead, he goes, I have the best rallies ever. I have the most people attend my rallies. Nobody attends her rallies. My rallies are amazing. It's like, oh, dude, so
it's and there's always these absolutes with him. Nobody attends her rallies. Everybody attends my rallies. And if anybody attended her rally, well, you just said nobody attended her rally. So if there's anybody attended that rally, she bussed them in and she paid them. So she paid 15,000, 20,000 people to come to a airplane hangar and hang out. And then there was the whole AI thing. And then it was and all of that. And I just sit back and said, this, and you just have to say, who are the people who listen to this and say,
have you seen, but look at Twitter. I was live on Twitter. Were you live on Twitter?
Looking at as much as I can, but go ahead.
Well, I was live on Twitter, and you see people who are MAGA followers who I don't even think a lot of them even live in the country. It seemed very weird because the way some things are written, who were saying, oh my God, he's beating her so bad, and oh, whatever. And then you have former General Michael Flynn calling her a biatch on social media, and then people underneath him calling her the C word, calling her a whore. I'm like, guys, this is where crazy people live. This is not even reality. And let's talk about what's not reality. He got so baited. They're eating your pets. He went straight into they're eating your pets. And we're gonna sit here for a few minutes. This whole eating their pets thing is a horrible racial trope that has happened to Haitian people and has happened to Chinese people for decades. And it's just a racist trope. It is not happening. The video everyone is showing, two of these videos, they're showing, they actually put it on Twitter, which is so disgusting, of a Haitian person who's snapping the neck of a cat. That person is not in the United States. That person is actually in Haiti. Should cats be killed? No. But it wasn't here. Right. The other one they're showing is of geese who are being carried off by some person. We don't know where it is. There's no verifying fact. They're saying that there's these 911 calls about it, but that's all they're saying. Like, we
Right.
don't have all these families saying that our pets are gone. There was one
Right.
girl whose cat still had the leash on, had run up in a tree, what it seemed like to me, and tried to jump down and hung itself. That's go ahead. I'm sorry.
But
I'm just gonna go.
we're in a day and age now where the truth is subjective to some people. It's like you tell me, and if I feel like this is the truth, to me it'll be the truth. It, damn facts. Damn me even looking to see, if this was even AI or if this was not even what you say it was. Or I want to believe that Kamala Harris is the worst human being and any Democrat is the worst human beings on the planet. So Donald Trump can sit up here and say any and everything, and I'll be like, yep, that's it right there. Trump said it, so it's got to be true. And it's to the point now where it's almost like if Trump said it's got to be a lie. It's it's a different type of lie whenever he's talking, and you sit back and you say, like, what is it going to take? And I'm just like, I just cannot wait until November the 5th. Because November the 5th would just be the beginning. And please, people, people who are watching this, I want you guys to hear me when I tell you this. This will go on until the first of the year. So expect your holiday dinners, both Thanksgiving and Christmas. There's going to be trepidation all through the holidays. It's going to be trepidation until January the 20th, when it is time to be for the inauguration, because Trump is not going to give this up. The Republican elected folks who are in these different states, they've already got them queued up. And we're going to have to deal with this nonsense. But Lord knows, we hope that she beats him so much like a drum that it's going to be hard to dispute, and the rest of it will just be theater. That's about all we have to hold on to right about now.
We also have to discuss the fact that Trump threw his own running mate under the bus. By the way, have we even seen these two men in the same room since they became running mates?
Oh, you didn't see them today? All of them were together.
Where? Oh, at the memorial, yes, at the 9/11 memorial, yes, and I did see that. But before that, because that's a big event that everybody has to attend because it is a 9/11 memorial,
right?
And you can't say celebrating or anything, but
Correct.
They were commemorating. Oh, that sounds bad too.
You can. Let's just go with that. We know.
We'll just go with that because I'll stay with
forever.
Where
your heart is.
But
we know where your heart is.
Prior to today, have these two men done any rallies together?
When he first when he first announced JD Vance was yes.
That was months ago. But since then, these two act like they're on a completely different path. We have seen Waltz and Kamala do several events together. They've done a TV interview together. They do these things together. It's almost like he picked JD Vance because he had to pick somebody, but not because he actually knows he needs a running mate who's going to support his agenda. They're on two different pages. So when he threw him under the bus last night, because he threw him under the bus about the abortion, his abortion policy, and he was like, "Well, I've never talked to JD Vance before, so JD Vance doesn't know, what I have to say." It's like, but he should, because he should be backing your opinion up and supporting it in his speeches. And if that's not happening, then you guys are on the same page, and that's bad.
It's wild, man. It's wild to me. It's wild to me how much he admits how disconnected and how self-absorbed he is. Right? You've got this man that you put on your ticket who's supposed to be your running mate, and nobody believes that y'all like each other. Nobody believes y'all, and you admit it. Y'all not on the same page. Or no, I disagree with JD Vance. We haven't talked about that. What have y'all talked about? Because you are running mates. Y'all should be on the same page. If Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are not on the same page, they're not going to come out in the public and say they're not on the same page. That's going to be a private meeting they're going to have, and they're going to get themselves on the same page. They're going to get themselves on her page, whatever page she says that it is. But when it's all said and done, this should be a landslide, and it's not. But let's continue with some of the best hits from last night.
I mean, we've kind of gone through a couple of them. Do you have any additional? Oh, I know one that was the best hit that I was like, oh, we're just gonna see pink and green vomit from here for the eye can see. That's when he said that Kamala Harris did not want to have a meeting with Vladimir Putin. I'm not doing it on purpose, so I swear to God, I'm not doing it on purpose.
I'm just trying to help you, Kamala.
Hold on. Tracy told me what to do.
Comma. Write a comma.
Yep.
La.
Got it. I'm gonna put it right here. There you go. It's right here on my little stand. All right, got it. Okay, so Kamala, so that Kamala went to a sorority party rather than going to go meet with Vladimir Putin and
I don't know
are
if
they
it
both
was.
named Vladimir
I don't know if it was
Zelensky?
the Zetas or if it was Sigma Gamma Rho. I remember when the story came
I
out.
think it was Sigma Gamma Rho. It might have been the
Yeah,
Sigma Gamma Rho. Either way,
yeah,
what people tend to forget is that the Black Panhandle Council is the exact voting block you want in the Black community. They are all pretty, for the lack of better words, successful. A lot of them business owners, some of them
correct.
wealthy.
Leaders, they're in all aspects.
Who
Like literally, the woman who was interviewing you was a part of the same sorority of Kamala Harris, who you sit next to. He probably had no idea. He had
he
no
does
idea
it,
this
but
woman was
we're
sister.
talking about 2 million African Americans across the world who are part of Black Panhandles, who are again your key voting block because they vote, they got jobs, they got issues, they're middle
But I don't
class,
think they are his
and
key
they
voting block.
actively vote
They're not his key voting block. He don't give a damn about us being in
in the
Panhandle.
Black community.
He don't. He don't really care about the Black community. That is all show, pomp, and circumstance. He don't give a shit about us.
It's show. No. It's show. Well, we found that out when he went to the national NABJ. But even
Mm-hmm.
though it's show, you still got to get these Negroes to vote, and you can't say stuff like it's a sorority party or
Yes, you
they're
can.
taking your Black jobs here at the NABJ.
Hey, he feels
Like,
like he can say whatever he wants because he is almost an 80-year-old man who has lived his life largely by not having to give a damn about what Black people or other minorities cared about. So why do we think he's going to care about them now? He does not give a damn. He does not care. All that is just placating. The NABJ thing, the Black jobs thing, and then when they asked him the question about, do you regret anything that you said?
there we
And
go. That was on January
do you
6th.
regret anything that you said? And she can be whatever she wants to be. When and then he slips it
Oh,
in
you're talking
there.
about that. Sorry. I got my two things because they've asked him twice about if he regret anything. Did he regret anything on January 6th? And did he regret anything that he said about her?
Well, let's finish the Black
And
thing, and
both
then we'll go to
were,
January 6th. Well, the
let's
whole
go to Black. Go ahead with the Black thing
the
first.
Black thing. She can be whatever she wants. I don't care. I don't care. Okay, you do care because you keep on going back to it, and you can't. When the man asks you the question, a very simple question, you can't answer it, and you just continue to just fall in front of the bus and the bus backs us over. You stand back up and you say it doesn't matter. I can take this hit. And so it's insane, but you know what? It is what it is. Black folks who still want to support this guy, I don't even have a question. I don't even know what question to ask you. I don't even at this point after all of this time, if you still don't see that this is not the one that's gonna, then whatever life you live, it ain't affected by your blackness somehow. At least you think it's not.
And for him to say that he doesn't care and it's not a big deal and it doesn't matter to me, you're saying that now because you're seeing how people are reacting to it. You're not
Yeah.
saying, I mean, again, I would prefer him stand 10 toes down and say she's patronizing the African American community. He could have said that, and to me, that would have been a better answer because people can get down with that. Maybe a little bit. She is a little patronizing to the Black community. Like, but she almost called him an MFer in front of everybody on accident. Did you see that? That was my favorite moment.
You know, I know I wanted to call him that. So whenever
like,
I don't know what moment it was, but maybe it was the same moment. Maybe we were on the same page, me and Kamala, because his lies are so egregious. And then the one point where he said about her putting out, that got past me. He dropped. Oh, you missed that?
Oh, I missed that. He said what?
Yeah.
Say the line.
He said when they were talking about the black, you being black, I read somewhere that you're black. I read somewhere that you put out. Yeah, I read that. That's almost verbatim what he said. And I said, wow, I had to go back and hear it on MSNBC or something to be like, wow, he really did say that. Because, you know, of course, they try to claim, because, of course, the whole thing with Willie Brown, you know, what's that guy, the talk show host, old talk show host? Anyway, the other black talk show host. Huh? Montel. And so he went there in a debate. You got in here with a woman who was running for president, who could be the next president of the United States. And you talked about her putting out like she's a whore. I just, you know, these type of people, I don't like the fact that I know they exist. I want y'all to just go away. But it is what it is. You know, the Donald Trumps of the world are and their kids and their grandkids are they're here. They're everywhere.
What kills me about the whole Kamala Harris is the whore thing
Kamala.
would work better for me if it was.
It's right there in front of you. Go ahead.
It's right in front of me. It would kill me about the Kamala Harris thing, about her putting out and being a whore, whatever. It's not good to say, but if it was coming from like a Mike Pence who only wants to be in a room with his wife and apparently has only been with one woman his whole life, his wife, I can get down with that a little bit. Like he's calling you a whore because he's Puritan.
You didn't
Fine,
say that.
whatever.
You didn't say that.
I'm
gonna give you a chance to fix that. I'm gonna give you a chance to fix that. Go
I'm
ahead.
not. But when it comes from Trump, a man who slept with multiple porn stars, who's paid for multiple abortions, who's cheated on every single spouse he's had. Talk about, are you serious?
Well, here's the thing. As a man, I know people like Donald Trump, right?
No,
who look at it and say, just like you just said, he's the type of guy who frequents and has relationships with women who are salacious, who put out. Like, I've never used the term she puts out.
Women of the night.
Did you say Miguel's age?
Yeah, women of the night. That's what it is. Women of the night.
You know, because when it's all, nobody's talking about, oh, she putting out. You know what I mean? Whatever. But you use those type of terms when you are the type of person that Donald Trump is, right? And it's a frat boy type of conversation. But, when it's all said and done, he looked horrible. Horrible.
Oh, wait, I got more highlights.
Go
when
ahead.
She went through every time he was racist and it went public. The Exonerated 5 article that he took out, which I do wish they would stop bringing that up. Like, come on, guys, whatever. Him not wanting to bring to, I get why they bring it up, but there's more.
Until he makes a statement, he should have admitted a long time ago. But he can't he can't admit he made a mistake, right? But he can always have a comment that is, well, they admitted that they were guilty. They admitted that they were guilty, and then they said, then they recanted. And said they weren't guilty. No, the DNA evidence said that they were not guilty. Like there was DNA.
That's how they were. People keep forgetting that they were exonerated by DNA evidence. They weren't just exonerated. Right. People are like, "Oh, the kids said they were innocent." Blah blah blah. Right. No, they were exonerated by DNA evidence, which is what should happen in exoneration cases. But I wish they would focus on more recent racism stuff. Again, the black jobs thing, to me, it's just racist. He made it seem like black people only have, regular. We're not even regular. We're out in some fields picking fruit, which is what a lot of migrants come to do. And God bless the migrants who come. They get into this country. A lot of them, they don't want to be bothered. They want to get their green card. They will do with any job you give them because they just want to be here.
Yeah.
That's not a black job.
If he was smart, that was an opportunity for him to say, not just black jobs, not just Hispanic jobs, but rural white jobs. Like
there you go.
You could have circled that wagon in that to basically talk about all people who are the working class and blue collar. But no,
the Appalachians area.
He still
people,
had to make it racial.
Yeah.
He still had to make it where we're not like them. They're not like us. But many poor white people are exactly like poor black people, poor Hispanic people, poor anything people. It's a caste system. And people who don't have bread wants to, they could be on roofs, learning that trade, or they could be electricians, or they could be doing yard work, or anything. And those are the jobs that he's talking about.
And let me tell you how racist I am. If I was getting my roof repaired, I got my roof repaired. Mm-hmm. And if I saw a white person come and knock on my door to do my roof, I'd be like, nope, no, thank you, because you're going to do a horrible job. Please leave. Where's the Hispanic man? Because I know they're going to do a good job. Yeah. I'm going to leave a case of beer in the grass. They're going to be here from 8 a.m. in the morning until 8 p.m. at night.
Good God.
And it's going to be perfect. If I even see you better be walking up to knock on my door about solar. You better not be coming to do my roof. No, ma'am. No ham, no ham, no turkey.
Always going to be the white guys, and they're going to hire them. Anyway.
No. So outside of that was his. I wish they would bring up more of his recent racial stuff. But I did like the fact that she listed it because he had a response to it. There was no response to it. He went straight into the immigrant thing again. It's like, well, no, she just said all these things, you were racist, and you went into the immigrant thing, which made you look more racist. It did not make you look bad.
Because to him that's the only thing that resonates with his constituency. It's the fear mongering. It's the
That's all he did.
it's all it is fear mongering. And like she said, it's tired. It's like, dude, we've heard this for the last 10 years from you. And you have come up with nothing new. When you start talking about inflation, you start talking about tariffs. But see and that to me, those are the things that are important. This other stuff is fluff. Okay, but you're talking about tariffs, which directly related to prices going up. Because if you put a 20% tariff or 10% tariff, whatever the tariff number is you put on the Chinese products, once they get here with that tariff on top of it, what is it going to do? It's going to cause the prices to go up. They have to go up because the Chinese are not going to take the hit. Because a lot of the stuff that's made that people is buying on Tumi or these other Shein and these other websites.
You mean Temu?
Temu, okay, Temu.
I was like Tumi.
But the point is that I listen to it. I listen to the economic side of that, and I say, if you want to put tariffs on all the international stuff that's coming here, and we're not building this stuff in America, that means the price of everything is going to go up. Period. When you sit up there and there's no way to put any sort of cap on what corporations can charge for their goods and services, right? This is America. It's capitalism. There's no way to really put a cap on that. And that's the part that you look at and you say, well, okay, then you talk about the Fed and you talk about the interest rates and you look at this nonsense. I look at, even our homes, how much the value of our homes. Yeah, the value of our homes go up, but the interest rates are so high that you're not really going to take, when you bought your home 10 years ago and your interest rate was 2.5% and now the interest rate is 6%, you're going to try to borrow some money. You're losing money when you borrow the money, right? So it's we're in this cycle. So now I listen to all that and I come back and say, okay, here we go. Who's going to make this country feel better? Who's going to make us feel like, okay, we can exhale and we can start. That's kind of where I am right now.
And the last thing we have to point out is that Donald Trump never actually talked to us as the American people. Not once.
Never does.
She did. He never does. And I think that's a huge, huge thing. And, you have people like Meghan McCain, who is a boil on the butt of America right now. And she's saying, I'm turning this off. Like, why? They're not talking to middle American. I've gotten her posts and said, and I got a lot of retweets and a lot of likes saying, hi, middle American here. Yes, these are the questions we do want answers to. I'm Black. I want to know if Donald Trump is racist. I want to know what he's going to do to help the economy. I want to know how he feels about reproductive rights. I want to know about all the things, the questions that they're asking. Like, you're like, these are just elitist questions. What are you talking? These are elitist questions. These are questions that are confusing for the American people. Like, we're all not just sitting home all the time complaining about gas and eggs. We're not. Though we are concerned about those things. We want to know about the economy and how those things are going to change so that we can get the price of eggs and gas down.
What is a political nepo baby?
You don't know what a political nepo baby is? The only reason why Meghan McCain has any kind of power or whatever is because of her father, John McCain. There is no talent that this girl has outside of being John McCain's daughter.
Yeah.
Also makes me wonder, and then I think, is she an only child?
I don't know. I can't express to you how pathetic and stupid the Kamala earring conspiracy is. Grew up, she did a better job last night and Trump blew it because he is an undisciplined boomer who doesn't have a give about anyone but his hardcore base. What is the earring conspiracy? Do you know what's going on with that?
So she has an earring in her ear that's a pearl with a gold hook. They're saying that is something that you can buy online that actually is an earpiece, even though it's not directly in her ear. And an earpiece like that would pick up massive feedback into the microphone, and people would be able to hear the buzzing noise and or people talking.
There's two microphones. They were wearing two microphones. The microphone that was in front, and there was a microphone they both had lapels on. And so, but, okay. All right.
But that's what it is. Again, we can get, the debate is over. Then we have to deal with the conspiracy theories as if she cheated and she got the answers beforehand. It's the same thing they said about Hillary Clinton. She had an earpiece in her ear. She got the answer before. So anybody that does better than Trump, they cheated.
It's the same grievance politics. And I just, I'm just looking forward to him going home after January. And will he ever go away? But, the next ones are up. J.D. Vance isn't going anywhere. JD Vance will be a thorn in the side of America.
No, he won't. No, he won't.
I believe he will.
Here's the thing, though. Everybody thought the same thing. Said the same exact thing about Sarah Palin. The same thing. They thought you may not remember this.
I'm listening.
Remember this verbatim.
I don't think I don't think Sarah Palin is nearly as bright as JD.
Do you remember this? I remember this moment. You may not remember. I remember the moment that John McCain lost the election. They clapped for him. Sarah Palin stepped up to the podium. She got a 3-minute standing ovation. People were really thinking that she was going to be the turn of the party. His own team members who were pro John McCain were confused, like, why are they cheering for her? Mm-hmm. And everybody thought she was going to be the change of the party. What happened to Sarah Palin after this?
What was it? A daughter who got pregnant?
She was pregnant during the election. She was pregnant during the campaign cycle.
Didn't she have a son too? That was a bit of a nut job too. I think she had.
Yeah, her son got arrested for domestic violence for fighting the father. She's also now divorced. Her daughter actually just lost custody of that child to the father. Mm-hmm. Her family is in shambles, and she has no political voice at all whatsoever. She didn't even have a pundit job on Fox News. But they thought she was going to be the voice.
And so compare that baggage to JD Vance, who we consider it baggage as reasonable people. He had sex with a couch. We consider it baggage as reasonable people, but there's people who find it humorous that he's talking about cat ladies. You know, he's a Marine. He was a communication specialist in the Marines. He speaks very well. He makes all that insane nut job stuff he says it very eloquently. He's going to be a problem. The guy out in Arkansas, Tim Cotton, I think his name is. Tim Cotton is going to be a problem. He'll be a problem, you know, but they'll be normal problems because these guys are young. Like JD Vance is in his 30s, Tim Cotton may be in his early or mid 40s. You know, these guys are young. They're going to be around forever. We know Marjorie Taylor Greene is not going anywhere because, you know, it's Congress and she can sit there for the next.
But she's easy. She's
easy to ignore, you know.
Like people, the same thing with, we ain't heard from old girl in a while. The girl who got caught giving a handy in the movie theater. Is she still around? Did she get fired?
She's still around. No,
Bobbit. Her name is it Bobbit? Bobert.
You know.
Oh, stop! That was the reason why you're saying Babbitt is because that was another weird thing he threw out there, was that Ashley Babbitt, who was killed at the Capitol by a deranged police officer as she was trying to break into the Capitol
as she broke through the window, as she was breaking through the glass of a window, trying to crawl through in an area where they told her, "Don't you come over here, stay out of here." And as they had the door barricaded, she broke through the window and tried to claw through. And that brother was like, "Pop, pop, we warned you." But there was 100+ cops that were injured, some who died. He said no one died.
Yeah.
Which is another lie.
Because only one died in the actual melee. But a lot of them died after the fact, either some from suicide, God forbid, a lot of them from injuries, internal bleeding, head injuries that, you know, they thought were fine and weren't fine. So I really hate the fact of all the things that happen and go on is that January 6th was so played down, and he still denied that he didn't. I just came to give a speech. No, you didn't just go to give a speech. You called them to the Capitol. You wanted to have the election recalled. You wanted Mike Pence to, quote unquote, do his job and stop the peaceful transfer of power. Anyway, the debate was bad. I'm exhausted. I can't wait for November 2nd. The Waltz and Vance debate is going to be on the 1st.
I don't even know. When is it?
Hold on, let me pull it up, guys. It's coming up soon.
And I think that they'll gain some ground. It'll be interesting, but by the time that debate happens, I think some of the mail-in ballots will already have gone out, and people would. I don't think the Tim Walz, JD Vance will be a determinant factor that much. At least let's hope it's not. But I'm
kind of looking for the October 1st. October 1st is when it will be, and I will be watching that because, again, I feel like though JD Vance may not be anybody's cup of tea, and he says a lot of messed up stuff, and I feel bad for his wife Usha, who's Indian, because, you know, my connection to the Indian community. Right. He's still eloquent. He's still a good speaker.
Yeah.
And Tim Walz is also a good speaker.
Yeah.
it's going to be probably a smarter debate than what we saw last night. But let's get off of that. Let's spend our last few minutes talking about trash, because I love my trash. I love my trash.
Hold on.
You're not going to play the video, are you? Yeah, we're going to talk about.
I'm absolutely not going to play that video. I'm absolutely not going to play that video. Go ahead and get into your trash so I can find where I fit in this part of the
So I was minding my business, my own black business on my black job, getting ready to go pick up my kids. I was scrolling to my phone, waiting on somebody to turn to a meeting, and Shannon Sharpe is trending. I was like, what did he do now? Well, why is he trending? Is it an interview? Most like it's an interview. I clicked on the button and immediately clicked off the button because he somehow, I know how he did it, but he went on live on IG Live and he was having sex with his partner, random woman, IG model. Who cares? Who knows? He's a grown man. And instead of just saying, I accidentally did this, he decided to say, I was hacked. So the person who hacked you has the same voice as you, who talks like you. I had to go back and listen to more of the video, which I didn't want to do, but he wasn't hacked. He actually accidentally went live while he was having adult time with a woman named Michelle.
So I'm gonna let you finish because I don't really have much from this. I'm looking. Here's how ridiculous X/Twitter has gotten. I was just getting ready to go and where when you go and it shows you Shannon Sharpe is trending, and I was just gonna kind of show just the trending. I can't even do that, and without scrolling this thing, and there's basically porn that is on this feed as I scroll. So I said, nope, can't do that because no. it's I just call me a prude if you want. I'm of a certain age, of a certain where
it's not about being a prude. It's just it's very.
Done, Shannon was doing what he's doing. He's a grown man.
He's a grown man.
And
I guess that's why I don't have a huge issue with.
Yeah, he had a few days with what's his name, Ultra Cinco. That issue was going on end of last week. And go ahead, finish thought.
I don't have an issue with this happening. I wish he would just say, yeah, guys, I accidentally did this on accident. I didn't do it on purpose. And then it would be done. Nobody would care. But you saying you got hacked is only making people more interested into the story. And again, PR marketing person here. The cover-up is always worse than the actual issue. I mean, you're a grown man. The other woman is most likely a grown woman. At worst, she might be 25 at the worst. Who cares? Everybody heard you moaning and having adult sexy time on IG Live. Now, what also made my brother actually said, why are you surprised? Like, everybody's been calling him gay, so that's why he did this. It wasn't an accident. And my brother could be right. But I also think, and this is just me, that he was trying to record himself having sex and pressed the wrong button, and that's why he went live.
That quite possibly could have been what happened. Folks are out here in these streets, man, and they living some real interesting lives. And with someone like Shannon Sharpe, who's living in living color on YouTube and on television and all this stuff, you when it's all said and done, he's gonna get probably another 100,000 followers off of this.
Yeah, because now everybody wants to see what his peak looks like.
What?
I'm just being realistic about how followers are. People are now going to be looking for, is there another part of this video, or can we find another part of this video? Oh, is he going to be like doing some kind of adult thing? And now Cameron, the rapper, is saying that he's taking, what is that pill that Cameron was pushing out? Cameron went on CNN. What was that?
I don't know. It was some drink. And of course, Cameron going to take that as an opportunity to market his product. So.
But he did. He actually took a picture where it shows Shannon Sharpe holding his regular cocktail glass. He removed the cocktail glass and put his hand full of his horse tranquilizer thing and said, going on a date. He actually did that. And Shannon hasn't said anything yet, which is intellectual property, but whatever. God. Shout out to Shannon Sharpe. The last hot what is that Candace Owens has been demonetized on YouTube. We all saw this coming. We didn't know when it was going to happen.
I didn't see it come. I guess I ain't paying that close of attention. So she was demonetized on YouTube because you said something about her in the Jewish community.
She's an interview with Kanye West on her page right now. We all know how Kanye West get down. And when she put the Kanye West interview up, it got it got multi-reported by one specific person, and several people joined in just reporting the same video over and over and over again. And when that happens, YouTube has to look into it. And they did not kick her off the partner platform, which is how you get paid. They give her, said you're suspended for 90 days. But my whole thing is, you may not like Candace Owens. I'm not a fan of hers all the time, but she has a right to spread her opinion. She's not really being racist. She's questioning Israel. She's questioning some voices in the Israeli community and the Jewish community. Yeah, she's saying a couple of crazy things, but you guys multi-reporting her channel because of an interview you don't like with Kanye? Is that really fair? Is that fair, Miguel?
That whole internet world and how that works. Here's what you know: you're rolling the dice when you bring Kanye West on your platform.
Yeah,
you're rolling the dice, going all the way back to George Bush doesn't like black people. George W. Bush doesn't like.
By the way, Kanye West is all the way now anti-woke when you were the first woke person to ever exist. You are the first. You're the first wokey.
So, when you look at this stuff and you just say, and when it's all said and done, man, it's all about, was it good PR? Was it bad PR? Candace Owens, they won't keep her off Twitter too long or YouTube too long. They'll figure that out. And if they don't, that sucks for her, right? Because she's built, quite a following. And that's another thing, talking about having this content offline is going to be crazy. But so anyway, all right. So Candace Owens, we'll see. And when you say she's not racist, here's the marketing. But we're not going to change it. But here's the marketing. You can talk all the crap you want to talk about black people. ... She started wrong.
I'm not saying that.
She talked crap about black people all day, every day. She started messing around and talking about the Jewish community, and it's a wrap. And you should have to rethink her strategy.
I wish people would just stick it to the Israeli government. And people keep going into the Jewish thing instead of criticizing. Stop saying Jewish people, to say the Israeli government is a horrible, awful organization who's killing Palestinians.
Yes.
When you add in Jewish people, because again, what she said was Jewish people worship Satan. Okay, now we're going into crazy land. Now we're going into Crazyville, and I can't mess with you. But
right, and
whatever.
So and even that was even a part of the debate. I think that her answer going back, let me just get out of
sucked.
Tell me why you thought it sucked. Tell me why you thought Kamala Harris's answer sucked about Israel.
Her answer was equivalent to there's good people on both sides. That's what I thought. I thought it was a reminiscence of Charlottesville. There's good people on both sides. I mean,
it was not reminiscent of Charlottesville. Stop. Go ahead.
Of what her response was?
It was not reminiscent of Charlottesville. We're talking about the difference between people marching in Charlottesville with tiki torches, and they're legitimately being Jewish folks that were killed by Hamas, and the Israelis killing what they're doing now, and there's a war going on. Charlottesville was not a war. Charlottesville is not a war. Charlottesville. The
sentiment is still the same. And you can disagree, but what I'm saying is that she's saying Israelis have the right to defend themselves.
Correct.
But there's all these Palestinians who are dying, and we have to look into it. Okay, it should have been a better answer than that. It should have been a very...
That's the problem. The problem with this, and we've had this conversation, we've had people on the show, the two-state solution
is done.
Geographically, I continue to look at this thing and say the Gaza Strip seems like it's right in the middle of this country, and basically the Jewish folks are supposed to have the territory all around this area. They don't have access to their own water, right, to the west. I'm at the point now that I just want to sit back and let them figure it out, and keep my comments to myself because it's too much for me to understand. For a lot of us to understand, and a lot of us A lot of us are making these assessments based on not enough knowledge, and I'm kind of pulling back on it.
No, I agree with you. I just wish that she just would have just been more definitive about the fact that Palestinians are now being slaughtered, and it is a
Yeah,
genocide. I
absolutely.
mean, there is no if, ands, or buts about it. And I wish there would have been a real question where she would have said, listen, where does self defense of our people start? And then where does genocide start? Because right now that line is
Yeah,
blurred. And
yeah,
that's the line that has to be decided that hasn't been decided by the Biden administration or even Trump. Trump is like, Israel needs to survive. And yeah, well, great. But does that mean that all these people in Palestine have to die, in Gaza, all the Palestinians have to die so that Israel gets to exist?
yeah.
Is the life? Here's the key question they always ask:
Mm-hmm.
is the lives of the few more important than the lives of the many?
You're basing that on what?
It's a saying that people always say. Like they'll
Oh,
ask
okay,
you, like,
because
"Hey, will you
but
save one
right, okay.
sibling or will you save 500 people?"
And I think there's just so many people that this is a war that is going on. This isn't just some conflict. This is a war that's been ongoing, simmering and up and down for since was it 1947? I believe is the year that is an Israeli nation and territory
I think
was
so. It's been
established.
going on for 50, 60 years. It's a long
A
time.
lot longer, more like 80. We're working on 80 years of this, and so there's that. All right, before we get up out of here, shout out to oh man, we lost Frankie Beverly today.
I know.
This has been, and first thing I did this morning is I thought about, they talk about things happen in threes. It actually happened in fours, for this time. And people make jokes out of every damn thing. So the first, I think I saw a meme that was, it was James Earl Jones, it was Frankie Beverly, and it was Rich Homie Quan. I've said it
Are we
myself.
putting Rich Homie Quan in the same? Okay.
And people were clowning and joking. The other one is Sergio Mendez, who was a great jazz musician who actually influenced Stevie Wonder and a lot of others. He was a major player. So he passed away as well. So James Earl Jones, Sergio Mendez, as well as Frankie Beverly, and I immediately had to put some Frankie on today. And there's some stuff that I'm probably going to be discovering with Frankie Beverly. But we had this conversation, the whole thing. For people who don't know, I had to play it for my girls. I said Frankie Beverly, and they was just like, they looked at me and they were just like, oh, is my crickets working? Do you hear my crickets? Didn't work?
No.
Anyway.
But anyway,
But
Frankie Beverly and Maze.
I played the Beyonce version before I let go, and they said, "Oh," I said, "Well,
I will not play that version. It is only one version, and that is the Frankie Beverly and Maze version. I got introduced to Frankie Beverly and Maze, Earth, Wind, and Fire, not through my parents, secular music, whatever, but at FAM.
Okay.
Because every nightclub they had the old school set, like for 30 minutes, they would only play Before I Let Go and Earth, Wind, and Fire and Sade and all that, every nightclub party. So.
Absolutely. I always say my Earth, Wind, and Fire. Let me make sure that okay, it's working. You can hear that, right?
Yeah, I can.
I think I had to turn down. Earth, Wind, and Fire always takes me back to North Carolina and takes me back to my parents who didn't spend a lot of time. They were divorced by I was 4 years old. And so I hear North Carolina, I hear Earth, Wind, and Fire, immediately go back to my childhood. And then Frankie Beverly takes me back to D.C. It takes me back to the summers. It takes me back to what I saw my parents in that generation, what made them smile. Because, of course, he's from Philadelphia. And so Frankie, man, you listen to some of the old stuff he had. It's
We
amazing.
Are One. That's my other jam.
Man, it's so much amazing music. So shout out to Frankie. Shout out to James Earl Jones. Of course, every time it'd be some idiot someone to bring up. And supposedly, I guess he spoke and didn't like black women or something. I don't know.
Who, James Earl Jones?
Yeah, I guess there's some interviews.
Who the hell cared?
Who the hell?
The man is gone to glory. Did he have children?
Yeah, I'm assuming he did. He was 90 years old, so I'm assuming he had something.
Hold on, before we get off, I just want to say
he played of course, being the voice of Darth Vader. Just think about the movies that are on this screen, right? Star Wars, Lion King, Coming to America. And I'm ashamed to say I can't remember what this movie is when he was playing a boxer. That's a pretty big deal too. And then you go back to going back to the 70s when he played in I believe Claudia, I think was the name of the movie, which is an iconic movie, and he was the man in the situation with the welfare situation. But James Earl Jones, and shout out to him.
He has one child.
He has one child, yeah. Okay. Probably, I guess a child got to be in their 60s or 70s, so they're older than me, I'm sure.
He dated Angela Lansbury.
Oh, God. All right. Last minute show, I think came out pretty good. We appreciate y'all. We holler at y'all next week. Let me see next Monday. I hope ain't nothing going to come up. If it does, I'll let y'all know. Peace.